Welcome back. In this lesson, we'll learn about list data type in Python. Lists are used to store multiple elements in a single variable. If I want to store 10 people names, then previously we need to create 10 variables and then assign each and every name to a particular variable. But with the help of list concept, we can store all these 10 people names inside a single variable. List is one of the important data type in Python. It is also a mutable data type. So mutable means we can change the list once it is created. In this lesson, we learn how we can create a list, what are all the operations we can perform in the list, how we can add, delete, and then update an element in the list. First, we'll create a list, A is equal to, and then I'll open the square brackets. So whenever we want to create a list, we'll be using the square brackets and then we'll give all the elements inside the square bracket separated by a comma. First, I'll give some numbers. So I'm giving some integers. If I want to give a string inside the list, we can use the double quotations or single quotations and then we can give. So in a list, we can give any data type. It's not like that a list should be of a particular data type, like only integer or float. So list can have different elements with different data types. Now let me give some strings inside the list. So I've given some integers and then I've given some strings inside the list. Now I'll come and I'll try to print the list A. So I'm getting the complete list as the output. If I want to find the type of my list, I can say type of A. The output is class list. So it's nothing but it's a list data type. You can see there are multiple elements inside the list. If I want to go and access a particular element like the integer 70 from the list, then there's a concept called as indexing. So for each and every element inside the list, an index number is given. The index number always starts from 0. That is, the element 50 is given the 0th index, 70 is given the first index, 40 is given the second index. Like this, each and every element inside the list is given a unique number that is called as index numbers. So with the help of this index number, we can access the particular element from the list. So as I said, I want to access the element 70. So if I want to access, what I'll do is, I will say, first I need to say print and then I'll say the list name. So A is the list name. I'll open the square brackets and then give the index number inside the square brackets. So I'll give the number 1. So index number 1 over here. The element 70 is at the first index, right? So now I'll run. I'm getting the output as 70. If I want to print the first element, that is the 50, then I will give index 0. When I run, I'm getting the output as 50 over here. Let's say I'll give the index 6. I want to find out what element is there at the index 6. You can see the output is HTML. So HTML is at the 6th position. So there is a concept called as negative indexing. So it's also similar to the indexing concept, where in the normal indexing, what we do is always the index number will start from 0, then it goes on positively, right? The negative indexing, it starts from the last element. Here, let's say HTML. So it starts from HTML. So the HTML index will be -1, -2, then Java will be -2, Python will be -3. Like this, it will keep on going. So this is called as negative indexing, we call it. I'll give -1, print -1. You can see I'm getting the output as HTML. So if you have a very big list, and then if you want to find out what is the last element of the list, immediately you can easily find out using the negative indexing. If you give list name and then inside the square brackets -1, the last element of the list, we can easily print it. You can use negative indexing also to access the element from the list. Next, let's see how we can do slicing operation in the list. So slicing is nothing but we are trying to slice out a small part of the list. Previously we have done slicing in strings. So similarly here also we'll do the slicing. First we'll give the list name and then I'll give square brackets. We need to say the starting index colon the ending index. I'll say 2 colon 6. Now, when I execute, I'm getting the output as 40, 30, Python and Java. So from here, these 4 elements we are getting. So if you see the second index, 40 is there. So third index is nothing but 30. Then fourth index we have Python, and then fifth index we have Java. So we have given till 6, but we know that the last index will not get printed. So whenever we give 2 colon 6, so whatever we are giving at the ending index, that will not get included in the output. So 2 to 5 only will get printed in the output. So this is how we can do slicing operation in list. Next, we'll see how we can do concatenation of list. So concatenation is nothing but we are trying to add up 2 lists together. I'll create another list, b is equal to, and then here I will have some integers. Now I'll come and say print a plus b. So here we'll be using the addition operator plus to add the 2 lists together. And I'll print it. You can see we'll get first all the elements from the A list. After that, the second list, whatever we have added, those elements will be added over here. So this is how we'll do concatenation of the list. Next, let's see how we can find out the length of the list. To find the length of the list, we'll be using the len function. I'll say len of A. If I run, I'm getting the output as 7. So that means in the A list, there is totally 7 elements are there in the A list. So if I want to find out the length of A plus B, then I can say len of A plus B. I'll run. So totally 11 elements are there. So that is in the A list we have 7 elements, and then in the B list we have 4 elements. So total is 11 elements inside the list. So this is how we can find out how many elements are there in a particular list. So next we'll learn about the membership operator. So there are 2 membership operator. There is nothing but in and not in. So the purpose of the membership operator is nothing but to find out whether a particular element is inside the list or not. So whether it's a member of that list or not. So that is the purpose of the membership operator. The output of the membership operator will be always in Boolean. So that's nothing but it will be true or false. So it will return whether that particular element is present or not. So that's why we are getting the output as true or false. Now we'll try to implement the membership operator and then see. So I'll say print. I want to find out whether the string Java is present inside my list A. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm giving inside the double quotations whatever I want to find out, whether it is present inside the list or not. So I'm giving inside the double quotations. Since it is string, I'm giving inside the double quotations Java, and then I'm using the in operator. So there's nothing but the membership operator and then the list name in A. I'm asking whether Java is inside A. Now when I execute, I'm getting the output as true because we know that Java is present inside the list. If I go and change to Java instead of Java, if I ask C++ in A, I'm getting the output as false because the particular string is actually not present inside the list. So that's why I'm getting the output as false over here. Similarly, we'll try with not in operator. So not in operator is nothing but just the vice versa of the in operator. So I'll say C++ not in A. So I'm checking whether it is not inside A. Now when I run, I'm getting it as true because the string C++ is actually not present inside the list A. That's why it's returning the output as true. So the membership operator is very useful to check whether a particular element is present inside the list or not. Next, we'll see how we can modify a list in Python. So the list data type is nothing but it is very similar to a shopping list, we can say. We can try to add a new element, we can try to update the element, and also we can try to remove the element from the list. First, we'll see how we can update an element in the list. I'll remove all this, we'll have only the A list. Now let's understand what is updating a list. Let's say instead of Java, I want to replace this string with JavaScript. That means I want to update the list by replacing Java with JavaScript. So if I want to update the element, so how we can do is, first we need to know in which index Java is present. So If you see, this is the 0th index. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So in the 5th index, the string Java is present. So what I'll do is I'll say A of 5. So I'll say A inside the square brackets, I'm giving the 5th index. Now I'll say equal to. So inside the quotations, I'll give the new string. So that's nothing but JavaScript. Now what will happen is JavaScript will go and be updated in the 5th index. So after this, I will print my list and see. I'll print. You can see instead of Java, it has been replaced with JavaScript. So this is how we will try to update an element in the list. Next, we will see how we can add an element in the list. There are multiple ways how we can add an element to the list. First, we learn the append method. Let's say I want to add the value 100 to my list. I'll give the list name a.append. I'll open the parenthesis bracket and then say the value 100 over here. So now what I'm doing is I'm appending the value 100 to my list. So after doing it, I'll print my list A. You can see 2 output. That's because the previous one is also getting printed. I'll just remove the print. So now I'll run. Here you can see the value 100 has got added at the end of the list. So the append method, what it will do is it will always add the element at the end of the list. So towards the end, it will add the element. So this is one method how we can add the element. So in case, if I want to add an element at a particular index, then we can use the insert method. So we can use the insert method. Let me give an example. I want to insert the value 200 at the first index. So the syntax is list name a dot insert. I'll open the brackets. First, I need to say the index. So which index I want to insert? I want to insert at the first index, right? So I'll say 1, comma, the value I'll give. Then I want to insert 200. So I'll remove this print. And then here I'll come and print my. Now when I run, you can see at the first index, it has inserted a new element 200 over here. So now when we insert an element, after inserting an element, all the index numbers will actually change. So previously 70 was at the first index, but now 200 is at the first index and all the index numbers will change eventually. So you need to be very careful while indexing. In case if you are going to use indexing concept, after inserting, the index numbers will change. This is how we can insert at a particular index inside the list. Now, if I want to add multiple elements inside the list, then I can use the extend method. So a dot extend. I'll open the brackets. So here I will give it as a list. Okay, all these 2, 3 elements I will give that as a list. Let me say 1, 2, 3. So these are the 3 elements I want to add inside the list. I'll print the A after extending the list. Now I'll run. You can see the list has got extended with the 3 elements. So this is one way how we can extend the list by adding multiple elements together. So these are the 3 ways how we can add an element to the list. So next we'll see how we can delete. Okay, so we can delete or removing an element from the list. For deleting also, we have different methods how we can actually delete an element from the list. So first method we will see is the remove method. So in the remove method, we'll be using the value and then we'll be removing it. I'll say a dot remove and then I'll open the brackets. So we can see this is the updated list we have. So I want to delete the HTML. So inside the double quotations, I'll say HTML. The remove method, so in the remove method, it will remove by the value. So that's why we are giving the exact value over here. So after removing, I'll print my list A. Now you can see the HTML it has been removed from the list. So after removing also, the index numbers will eventually change. So the next method is, we have the pop method. So a dot pop, and then for the pop method, we'll be giving the index number. Let's say if I want to delete whatever is there at the second index, and then I will try to print my list. Now I'll run. You can see previously we had 70 over here. So now this element 70 has been deleted from the list. Okay, so it has just got popped out from my list. This is another way how we can delete an element from the list using the index number. So the next way is we can use del and then delete an element from the list. So I'll first say del and then I'll give the list name and let's say 0th index I want to delete. So 0th index we have the element 50. So now I'll delete it and after that I will print my list. So now I'll run. You can see the element has got deleted. There is also one more way how we can delete an element from the list. So these are the ways how we can add, update and then delete an element from the list. Practice question. So given the following list, fruits, so we have different fruits inside the list and then we need to perform each and every task. So we have 11 different tasks. So first, like we need to access the first and last element using positive and negative indexing, slicing, concatenation, then finding the length of the concatenated list. So then we need to check whether the value dates is present inside the list using the membership operator. So then we have adding, extend, remove, pop. So like this, we have different operations, different questions are given. You need to do each and every operation and then print the list. Solution. So first we will create the list. So I'll just copy and then I'll create the list over here. We have 5 elements inside the list. So the first question what we need to do is I need to access the first and last element of the list using the positive and negative indexing. So I'll say print fruits. I'll give the square bracket. So if I want to print the first element, so that is nothing but it's a 0th index, right? So I'll print fruits of 0. So I'm getting the first element apple. So if I want to print the last element, what I'll do, I'll say print fruits minus 1. So I'll print. So this is the last element of the list. So using the negative indexing, I have printed. So the second question is slice the list to create a new list containing only banana and cherry. So you can see the element banana and cherry are over here. So I want to slice this list. So if I want to slice the list, so banana is at which index? So it's nothing but it's in the first index, right? So I'll give 1 colon and then cherry is at the second index. But if I want to print till cherry, I need to give plus 1, right? So that's nothing but I'll give till the third index. So I'll close the square brackets and then I'll print the output. You can see banana and cherry. So this is how we'll slice. So you know that the whatever index at the last we are giving, that will not included in the output. That means the third index, whatever element is there, that will not get included in the output. The third question is concatenate the fruit with another list, fig and grape. Okay, so this is nothing but we need to concatenate with the another list. So what I'll do is maybe I'll create another one list called as F1. So is equal to, I'll paste this. Now I'll say print fruits plus F1. So F1 is the new list which you have created. And I'll run. You can see I'm getting the output. So at the end, fig and grape has got added in the list. So next, the fourth question, find the length of the concatenated list. So now we need to find the length of the concatenated list. So what I'll do, we'll use the len function. So I'll say len of the concatenated list. So I'll say fruits plus F1. I'll run it. So you can see the output is 7. So there are totally 7 elements inside the list. The fifth question is check if the value dates is in the list using the membership operator in. So I want to check whether the string date is present inside my list. So I'll say dates in fruits. So I'm using the membership operator over here. So when I run, I'm getting the output as true because dates is actually present here. It's the fourth element, right? So it's present inside my list. So that's why I'm getting it as true. The sixth question is update the second element in the fruit list to blueberry and print the updated list. So we know that in the second element, we have the fruit banana. We need to update that and change that to blueberry and then print it. So to do that one, first what I'll do is I'll say fruits of, so there's nothing but it's at the first index, right? So I'll give the first index is equal to, and then I'll give the new value whatever I want to give. So it's nothing but blueberry. Now I'll come and I'll print my fruits list. So when I run, so it has been updated. So instead of banana, it has been updated with blueberry over here. The seventh question is append a new fruit mango to the end of the list. So if I want to append mango, then what I'll do is I'll say fruits dot append, and then I'll append mango. After that, I'll print my fruits. You can see mango has got added at the end of the list. This eighth question is insert the fruit strawberry at the third position in the list. So third position means, so this is the first position, second position, third position. So there's nothing but it's a second index, right? So I want to insert it at the second index. So I'll say fruits dot insert. First I need to say the index second and then the element. So element is nothing but strawberry. I'll insert and then I'll print it. So when I run, you can see at the third place you can see strawberry. So it has got added at the third place. So the ninth question is extend the list by adding the following fruits, kiwi and lemon. So I'll just copy this. Now I'll come and say fruits dot extend, and I'll open the brackets, and then I need to give it inside the square brackets as a list I want to give. So that's very important. So I'll give it and then I'll print my fruit list. So when I run, kiwi and lemon has got added at the end of the list. So the 10th question is remove the fruit blueberry by its value and then print the updated list. So by its value they have given. That means we need to remove this by the value. So for that we'll be using the remove method. So I'll say fruits dot remove, and then I'll give the value over here. So that's nothing but blueberry, and I'll print the list. When I run, you can see string blueberry has got removed from my list. The last question is pop the fourth element from the list and print the removed element from the updated list. There's nothing but we need to pop and then print the removed element from the list. So what I'll do is I'll say print fruits dot pop, and fourth element we want to remove. Okay, so fourth element is nothing but at the third index, right? So this 0, 1, 2, 3. So third index. So I'll give 3, and then I will also print the updated list. So what I'll do is when I execute, you can see whatever is at the fourth element that I'm getting in the output. So that's nothing but whatever we have removed, it's nothing but we have removed dates, and this is the updated list. At the last, this is the updated list over here. So this is the solution to all the questions over here. So this is about the list data type in Python.